So today we're going to talk more about AI. We have Lars Tvede here, who is the founder of Supertrends. So I think, Lars, one of the big worries of people regarding AI and the future is that AI will take away their jobs. Do you see that as a big threat, that AI will remove jobs?
Yeah, I think you are right about that, and maybe I shouldn't laugh, but that's what technology does. It steals jobs, and that is the process through which it creates more wealth and better living standards. So it will do that, yes, mainly white collar, at least in the first instance. So very different from a lot of previous technologies that stole a lot of blue collar jobs. This is almost entirely for the white collar people who work with routine jobs, but also people actually who work with some quite creative jobs will figure out that you can actually do it more efficiently with AI. In many cases, though, what you can do is you can make more creative work by working as with cooperation between a human and AI.
Another fear with AI is that it will create more inequality in the world. Do you see that as a risk, Lars?
My take on that is that it will create less inequality, at least during the first 5 to 10 years. And the reason I say that is that you and I have a smartphone, but there are lots of people who are not coming from affluent areas, people who grew up fairly poor, but they still got some kind of smartphone. And if you have any smartphone, then you have access to free AI. And that means that you have actually access to enormous computer power via your phone. And that means that people who have desire, ambition, and talent, but live in poor areas can use this AI to create products and services. So in that sense, I think it's a great equalizer. Secondary is that also because it impacts white collar more in terms of replacing jobs than it impacts blue collar. In that sense, it's also an equalizer.
Thank you, Lars. That is an interesting point. And it's true, we've actually already seen the tendency of some technologies creating less inequality. For example, WhatsApp, that has been available without data in some regions of, for example, Africa, has created more wealth among the poor with some really, really simple tools. Like, for example, the farmer having to decide whether to take his groceries to one market or to another. He could communicate via WhatsApp to understand where his products were most needed, and in that way he could get a higher price or just make sure that his goods are actually sold. Another interesting point regarding inequality and equality and technology is that if we look back all the way to the 1980s, we can see a factor called the Gini index measuring equality and inequality, how it's actually moving across the years. And what we can say is that very little has actually happened. We have more or less the same equality or inequality now that we did 40 years ago. We can see the index running here in the background. So some countries have become slightly more equal and some have become less equal. The United States a little bit less equal, for example. But it seems to have more to do with politics than it has to do with technology. Because if technology had had an impact in terms of equality, then we would have seen a huge difference. Of course, maybe technology have created more super rich people along with globalization, but you cannot say that technology has created a lot of poverty in general and inequality.